I'm Jeddrix, and I am here to introduce your players. Up here on the top right side of Overgrowth, playing for Team Liquid is UTHERMAL. And on the bottom left side, playing for Storm Gaming, it is MAXPAX. Our Team Liquid currently 4-0. And that is quite the score, isn't it? I mean, both players are so Huston and Clem showing us absolute gold standard StarCraft so far. I think the last game was probably a little bit closer, although Huston was in the early game just showing us all how you should control those phoenixes in the PvT matchup. Now we are on Overgrowth. We are casting another PvT right now, so we are going to look out for very similar things to what happened last game and look for any proxies. I mean PvT is so interesting these days. The style of map pressure that you can get on from both sides really early on, and the builds are looking quite diverse right now. The control both armies need, especially if you're going against disruptors and all that kind of thing, it's just next level. Alright, so as we get into this first game of this best of two, MAXPAX obviously known for his genius when it comes to build orders, his strategy making. Obviously well up there. UTHERMAL, one of those bread and butter, get your build out, go across and hit timings kind of Terran. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw 3 racks at some point from UTHERMAL. I know he's quite fond of it. Looks like we're going to actually see an early factory for him. Probably going to be more than Widowmine drop to open up this first game. Yeah, indeed, we do see the SUV across the map. And actually, as we get into this, I think this is probably being set up for a bit more of a Hellion drop, although I don't want to call it quite yet. We have the starport being made on the other side of the map. We do have the reactor on the factory, and it is going to be Hellions being produced here for UTHERMAL. Nice pick off there of the SCV with the Adept. Nothing really here for UTHERMAL to defend against this Adept, and yeah, MAXPAX already getting a little bit of pressure on the map. You see a second Adept following up this as well. And actually, this takes out a lot of the wind of the sails from UTHERMAL because he's not able to move out to join his starport quite yet. Actually, the damage going down on these Hellions, I mean, even one going down is critical right now. I mean, it's going to be an Adept for a Hellions and not too bad trade, but you know, it's going to leave a little bit less of a punch here for UTHERMAL to go and apply some pressure very shortly. Now we are going to see Blink on the way for MAXPAX as well. See Robos, a very standard build for our Protoss, but yeah, we're going to see the Hellions now move out across the map. I was going to be spotted by this probe as well. The Hellion drop doesn't always try to get that much damage done. Obviously, damage is good, but it definitely needs to get a scout. I think that is critical. And look at this, the control of UTHERMAL already. Coming out, 6-7 workers. Going to see absolutely everything that's going on. And seeing as this was seen, this is just such good damage. UTHERMAL finding quite a nice angle here. Slowing down the economy of MAXPAX. Getting a full read on what is going on. I would say that's definitely a win there for UTHERMAL in this opener. Now Blink will be finishing up very shortly. There is a tank here for UTHERMAL as well, so I can't imagine any critical damage will be made here by MAXPAX, but potentially could Blink up into the main if he gets an observer across the map, but I think it's going to be a while until that can happen. But yeah, just siege tank on that position right there is just going to do a good job at holding this location. Tank's going to have to move up slightly to deal with this. One supply depot will go down a little bit of damage, but not a huge amount at this stage. Another warp-in will come out from MAXPAX, though. He's looking to do something here. Blinking right on top of the tank, taking out the tank. There's not much left here for UTHERMAL. There's Bio. He's putting the boys. He might be able to clear this up, especially with the tank on the high ground right now, but man, that was such aggression coming out, and actually a few mules and a couple of SCVs going to go down for it. It's not that bad so far for UTHERMAL as he sets up 2 tanks now. Yeah, MAXPAX finding a really good opportunity there to pounce on his opponent. Taking out a tank is pretty good going, but I'm surprised not more was done there. Gonna go up into the main, and actually gonna take out the siege tank on the high ground. Excellent play so far by MAXPAX, but he is losing quite a lot of stalkers. There is another tank out here. So I don't know, I mean, he's lost a lot of stalkers, and stalkers are pretty expensive if you're only trading out for a couple of tanks or bio, yeah. And we do see actually MAXPAX taking slightly more losses there, but you know, both players going pretty even on this at the moment. UTHERMAL's looking very nice now, just setting up quite a lot of his army in his base to hold this off. I guess if the Nexus go down, but I don't know, like both players are kind of calling it a truce right now, and MAXPAX holding a little bit of a soft contain, but there's, you know, if UTHERMAL wanted to push out right now, he could have the materials to do that. Absolute wide vision here for MAXPAX, and he's going to send in the Warp Prism into the main by the looks of it. Well, a little bit of a drop. Oh, it's not a drop if it's into your own base, I guess. He was trying to move out and got spotted, maybe. I think there's something on the top left side of the map. Spotting for MAXPAX there. But this is a huge, scary army. We do see a Colossus on the way, maybe even one done as well, so you know, might be able to hold this push out, but it's actually looking pretty scary for UTHERMAL, pushing out with 20 supply over it and actually getting the upgrades. And what did I say earlier about those timings? UTHERMAL always sticking to a timing of sorts in this matchup. He's going to push across, he's going to try and get some damage done, go over to the 3rd base location. I think it's an excellent decision. We do see a Colossus out here for MAXPAX as well. A little bit of a fight between the SCVs and the Stalker here. Stalker actually getting a lot of damage done. Oh no. Kind of annoying for you, film actually. UTHERMAL pulling ahead quite nicely here. He does have the upgrade advantage and will do for the next 20 seconds or so. If he can take an engagement, this will look very nice. Almost catching the army out in the open there. Actually getting so much damage on the Colossus, and not much here to protect it. And a lot of those key units of the pros are now going to fall. The Immortal does as well. And there's not much left here for MAXPAX, to be completely honest with you. I'm surprised UTHERMAL isn't getting a little bit more aggressive on this. Nearly twice the supply of his opponent right now. There's only a handful of Stalkers, handful of Zealots, and 1 Colossus. Well, now 2. going to move into the third base location. Scan down before that. He's got Widow Mines and tanks here. I don't see there's much that MAXPAX can do to break out of this. This is a siege up, and a very scary one at that. He is going to try and commit onto it, but I don't know how this is going to work out for him. Quite a lot of Terran down here, but the Colossi are staying up, and the shield batteries are they're putting in a lot of effort to keep this Protoss army alive. The overcharge is now done, which means that UTHERMAL can push into this location, takes out the pylon. And the pressure of UTHERMAL keeps ramping up. UTHERMAL really in a nice control of this game. We do actually see a bit of an upgrade lead now coming out for MAXPAX, so you know it's going to switch around a little bit, maybe a little bit more trading potential. But I mean, the army for UTHERMAL is looking so scary and has done pretty much all game, and he's just ramping up the economy now. I think he's in an excellent position. Looking for a drop there. Might actually find one on the right side of the base. UTHERMAL now just dropping a few Widow Mines. Actually might get a good connection. 3-4 go down. Does he come back in with the other one? Okay, he goes into the natural. Does he go into the main with the last one? Not so sure. I don't think it does. A little bit of damage there. A little bit of scouting. A little bit denied mining time as well. UTHERMAL nearly hitting the +2 timing again now. He does have ghosts on the way. He's going to look to use this army now. Again, having that Widow Mine drop just really keeps a lot of these units away from the main engagement. Imperius on the way. I mean, both players sitting back a little bit here, but UTHERMAL is trying to find an opening to be able to take here against MAXPAX's forces. I think he's quite wary about catching out the army in the middle of the map. He does find an opportunity to jump into the space again, but he doesn't have that many siege units here at the moment. A lot of bio though, and actually EMPs blanket the Protoss army. Which means that MAXPAX can't engage in this too easily, and he splits off quite a lot of the bio, takes out 12 probes, and now he's going to push in a little bit further, really respecting the Novas. He's going to try and focus the base. Nova comes out, takes out a huge amount of UTHERMAL's bio forces there. A really nice turnaround for MAXPAX there, but I don't know how much it's going to take to push it back. I think MAXPAX is holding this right now, but the rally behind this is going to be the kicker. UTHERMAL is securing his lead ever so slightly here. I say ever so slightly, actually has quite a lot of worker kills overall. He took quite an even engagement and stays ahead on economy. There is going to be a DT Blink as well as a Dark Shrine up, so you know, when behind Dark Shrine and all that, it's a good decision for MAXPAX, but I feel like the momentum is just so much in UTHERMAL's favor that I don't think there's much that MAXPAX can do at this stage. He hasn't been able to get up a 4th base economy, so both players have been sitting on 3 bases for quite a while now. He's trying to find a little bit of damage. There's actually six workers there on UTHERMAL, but nothing to really write home about quite yet. And the army is moving out from MAXPAX, and yeah. No, I just think this is a slow death for our Protoss player right now because the Terran army is looking scary again. It's twice over that with MAXPAX. He's actually going to deny the 4th base, which is huge. MAXPAX really needs that 4th base up and running if he's going to continue this game. I mean, Disruption Novas, trying to get a couple of pickoffs. I think that is the way to do it. Just try and find the Disruption Novas, scale out a little bit more, and try and push out to your 4th base. But now, UTHERMAL is mining on 4 bases quite comfortably and is pulling ahead quite a lot of his Protoss opponent. Massive blink into UTHERMAL's 3rd base there. As the blink does come out really aggressively here from MAXPAX, trying to find a bit of that bio army to pick up. The DTs are cleared up. Oh, a lot of those disruptors caught out, and only barely just takes them all out before the Disruption Novas go off. I think this is the beginning of the end because that was a massive catch out for the UTHERMAL, and the 2nd army is being pushed across the map, down through the middle. The DTs do actually force back that main army, but there is a 2nd army now pushing into the natural. It's going to take out a lot of this production now, which is going to be very critical, and there's not much left here for MAXPAX. He is going to come in with another Disruption Nova, not quite going to get the connection he needs. GG. UTHERMAL takes game number 1 in this best of 2 series. So here we go then, guys. Welcome to WTL. We are currently on the last map of this series, and down here on the bottom left side, playing for Team Liquid, absolutely dominating so far. And let's see if he can close it out for a full clean sweep. It is UTHERMAL, and on the top right side, playing for Storm Gaming. Can he bring 1 point to this team? It is MAXPAX. I'm Jeddrix. Thanks for joining us today. It's great to be here. And we also have a couple of matches happening a bit later as well, so check in for that. Happening very, very shortly. We're going to the last game now, so let's see what we can do. I'm really rooting for MAXPAX here. Really, really want to see point on the board for Storm. Now the reason why we're going all maps played is because each team score points for each map that is won. So there are still points to be won even though the best of 7 has gone one way or another. So here we are on the 6th map. I'm probably going to see that the natural is going to be put down here for UTHERMAL on site, which is, you know, very normal at this time. You know, all information really helps. I'm also going to confirm exactly the same. MAXPAX. So, where are we going to go? We do see the factory on the way. We also see the reactor again. Obviously, it's going to be Widow Mines or Hellion drop again. Let's have a look, see where the SCV is going. Looks like the SCV is going to go out into the map as well. So, there's a high chance we'll see the Hellions again coming out here for UTHERMAL. And it worked absolutely, like, amazingly well for him last game. Like, even though it was scouted, still got about 9 probe kills and a full scout of everything that was going on. Absolute value for something that was seen so early on. Now we do see an early Twilight Council here for MAXPAX, which I like. I think that's great for shutting down any drops that will happen a little bit later on. We have to get out like 5 or so Stalkers and be able to shut that down pretty quickly. We are going to see the units being produced now. It is going to be Hellions. We're going to see exactly the same build order as we saw last game. And it's actually going to get spotted. Oh, is it? No, it's not going to get spotted. Oh, dear. Thermal getting quite lucky there, actually. But, of course, he probably... I mean, he's going to know what the paths are for these Adepts, right? I mean, that was straight across the map, so... I'm pretty sure that was calculated. No units going down quite yet. And again, MAXPAX not quite getting that scout on there. Just, yeah, just a thin sliver of a vision, just not quite picking it up. And now this is a complete blind attack. And also, remember last time, the Adepts actually got a couple of kills on the Hellions and still got a lot of damage done. Now we have 4 full Hellions here. Now tank on the way to defend any follow-up now as well. Completely unscouted. Going to use the brushes as well. This is absolutely an amazing situation for UTHERMAL. But, having said that, Stalkers are in position. We do see Blink nearly up and running, but not quite yet to defend this drop. UTHERMAL's going to go into the south side, and he's going to get seen pretty quickly with this pylon here as well. MAXPAX is ready for this one. Only 3 going to go down to begin with. Oh, he's going to group up the probes! 7 go down. That was very risky there for MAXPAX to group up the probes like that. That could have just been so bad. Oh, he's actually going to get 8. So, actually, if he keeps the medevac alive, this is more damage than last game, right? Oh, he could even get another couple now. Okay, 9 into exactly the same play. UTHERMAL was great at handling that kind of pressure there. Really, really well done. Do you see a Warp Prism now? We do also have Blink finished up, so this is going to be a really early Blink pressure. Observer is on the way as well for MAXPAX, so you know MAXPAX is going to try and get a little bit more damage early on this game. Stalkers almost running into the base there, but just checking to see what's there, I guess. But gotta be careful. Now, can he take the stim away? I don't think he can. He's just going to go straight to the probe line. Tank does siege up here as well. We do see Charge and Immortals on the way for our Protoss player, but he's keeping up the aggression here. He's got the Warp Prism still flying around and looking for that angle. Lance on the way, as well as a couple of Colossi being chronoed out as well. So yeah, MAXPAX doing a good job at containing his opponent and getting out the tech he needs to be able to see this game out, confirming exactly what the army is going to be for UTHERMAL as well. So, you know, sticking around here, getting a little bit more information is always going to be beneficial. Seeing that the bio is, well, the engineering base being upgraded as well, all really good. Barely getting out on that one. 1 HP on that Stalker. It looks like UTHERMAL's going to try and use this timing as well, pushing into the... Oh, there's so many tanks here, actually. I didn't appreciate how many tanks there were. I mean, this is the standard timing for UTHERMAL right now. He's just going to push through, try and get some damage done. There are 2 Colossi here. A couple of force fields are going to go out, but all those sentries do go down. Slowly but surely, UTHERMAL's pushing up a little bit closer. Shield battery's going to go down as well. And, yeah, nicely handled so far by UTHERMAL, just pressing his opponent on the 3rd base location. He's going to get out of there. Sneaky zealots. Might even be a counter push here for MAXPAX. I mean, there are quite a lot of zealots here. Might be able to make something happen. Maybe you can push whilst the bio is quite low HP. I don't think it will, but you know, definitely had an opportunity. Might actually think about it. I mean, both players are quite even in army supply right now. It would be pretty risky to take an engagement if you don't know that you can actually take it. So, got to be very careful right now. Yeah, 3 Colossi, reaching quite a nice critical mass there. A little bit of damage now. MAXPAX trying to find something, but it's even a disruption over. And actually, a lot of this army gets caught out on the low ground. He does try and reinforce to bring his army back together, and a lot of the zealots do go down on the low ground. It means that UTHERMAL wants to push us forward a little bit more. There's not that much bio, but there is enough to actually clean up a lot of this army. That was a risky push for MAXPAX altogether, and now all of a sudden he's only got 30 supply left for army. Not that much economy. Obviously got taken out by Widow Mines. I didn't even notice that. I saw that was happening, I guess, which is great counter damage here for UTHERMAL. And again, massive connection. 6 probes going down, 7 in total. Dark Shrine is up and running, but I don't think MAXPAX is going to have much longer to be able to use it. UTHERMAL's pulling ahead quite nicely in this game. Five more probes go down, and I don't know, man. This is looking very scary for MAXPAX. I don't think there's much you can do. A completely non-mining 3rd base at 11 minutes is just critical. One lone Dark Templar coming in, but there is a... Oh, I thought you might be able to get out of the range there, but missile turret's picking that up. EMP radius is coming up as well. UTHERMAL's splitting up his army into 2 groups here. I mean, if he tries to drop right now, this is... oh, you can actually see the Stalkers before he goes up there, which is good going. And up on the top left, we do also have the engagement going in. 2 army now fighting. Gotta be really careful against those Disruption Novas, just quite slightly out of range here. He's going to get the flank on this as well, which is going to be very good, because then his army's not clumped up. Oh, damn. Ship battery overcharge going really well. Another round comes in, and actually quite a lot of damage goes in on that bio. It looked like friendly fire from the Widow Mines. But there is a huge resupply here for UTHERMAL as well, so if he pushes across the map, he will have quite a lot of units. Defenders, I don't... Oh, can he catch it out? No, not quite. Thought those were going to be some dead disruptors actually, but Thermal doesn't commit to it. Thermal's in an excellent spot right now. He's now on full base economy. It's really MAXPAX that has to decide where this is going to go and whether he can actually get a snipe off. But as time goes on, this is going to be a huge lead for UTHERMAL. Not much tech here or MAXPAX right now. A lot of those key units were taken out early on, so now it's just reduced to just stalkers and disruptors, which means that you know, all of this army is just able to push in unchecked without that splash damage or the extra splash damage from Colossi or High Templar. Means that this is going to be very difficult for MAXPAX to deal with. Again, looking for that doubling up of attacks there. Does see the Dark Templar. Thermal's pushing on the top left side as well. Does get a nice EMP connection. DT's now running into the base, but there's also a connection, a bit of a combat going on the top left side. And actually, MAXPAX coming out on top on that one. Some workers do go down for UTHERMAL, but oh, he's actually able to pick out quite a couple more units, but I don't know, his fourth isn't up and running still. He's very much stuck on this economy and this army composition as well, whereas UTHERMAL just has map pressure. He also has a fifth coming up. And UTHERMAL do it. He's thinking about it. He's now maxed out. Thinking about a push of some kind, continually applying pressure, and there's only stalkers on this push right now, so that means that Bioforce is able to get in. Fourth base is denied, and there's not much economy left for our Protoss player, as that fourth now goes down. Now UTHERMAL's out mining for nearly 2 times the amount of minerals. There are quite a lot of DTs here, and that could be a turnaround because, you know, if you run out of scans, you got to be really careful. But I mean, UTHERMAL's in a good spot to keep up this detection for a long period of time, as he has quite a few orbital commands now built. Oh, a lot of that army now taking huge EMP rounds, and it forces the backup for MAXPAX there. UTHERMAL going to deny that fourth base potentially again. There are so many disruptors on the field though, which means that he's not able to actually push in to get the damage done he wants. Bad engagement here for UTHERMAL, but the DTs do jump in on this army and take out pretty much the entire left side army, but he does cancel that fourth base, which is again huge, keeping the economy down to MAXPAX. Looks like MAXPAX is going to try and set up a flank on this army. As he runs away, he's going to get DT blinked on. Oh no, and the blink from the Stalkers as well. Oh man, so much mobility for this army, but a lot of it will fall now as the EMPs and the bio fight back. MAXPAX doing a good job to actually secure the map again, even though his economy is quite low. He's done a really good job at keeping the engagements quite tight, neat, and quite efficient. He's using every bit of energy to keep his Terran army at bay, and DT is doing absolute work, but the problem is they do cost a lot, and there's not a lot of longevity to them. And if you look at the mineral income and the gas income now for MAXPAX, it's actually plummeting by the second. Every time I check, it's slightly lower. As time goes along, this just means that UTHERMAL is going to extend the lead, and he's going to push in a little bit further. Still trying to find critical damage, but it takes a while to kill off a lot of this Protoss economy. There you go, 12 workers going down for MAXPAX, which means that now these disruptors are caught out. They weren't recalled with the rest of the army. They go down. Fourth base again forfeit. Probably the fourth time in this game, 22 workers. And I think that's it for this WTL round of Sidestorm Gaming versus Team Liquid. Looks like UTHERMAL's doing it. GG is called. UTHERMAL secures the 6-0 win for Team Liquid.